Click the link in the description for your free Amsoil catalog. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of our friends. The Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Search for them on Facebook. Central Minnesota Pond Racing. Search for them on Facebook. The historic Lancaster Motel for the ultimate Eastern trail riding adventure. Crane's Snowmobile Museum at 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. The Vintage Snowmobile Club of America Quarterly Magazine. The Bridge Street Garage Racing Team, the house racing team of the Vintage Snowmobile Podcast. The New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum at Bear Brook State Park in Allenstown, New Hampshire. And lastly, if you decide to advertise with the Vintage Snowmobile Podcast, this could be your advertising message. Well, good evening and welcome to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here. We are going to break with the traditional format of this podcast tonight and bring you something very special. We're going to have the top ladies of Eastern racing from the 70s on the podcast tonight. We're going to bring them on in just a moment, but before we do, I want to make sure that everything is working properly. So if you can see my face and hear my voice, I'm going to ask you to make a comment. Let me know where you're viewing this from and whether you are a first-time viewer or a regular viewer. Now, to our first-time viewers, we thank you so much for stopping by tonight to check us out. I hope you have a good time with us and decide to join us here each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This podcast simulcasts to 8 different places across Facebook and YouTube. So wherever you're viewing this, just circle back here in 1 week's time and we'll be here waiting for you. Also, to our regular viewers, you are the ones who make this possible, coming here week after week after week. We could not do this without you, so we thank you so very, very much for doing that. Let's take a couple of quick comments, and we'll bring our friends on here. We've got someone on Facebook saying, hello, Mike. Hello back. We've got Stacy and Art Fosler, regular viewers from Platkill, New York, are on tonight. Hello, nice to see you. Reese Fleury from Tupper Lake, New York, regular viewer. Patrick J. LaRose is in the house. Hello, Patrick. Another Facebook user saying loud and clear. Mark Gasso says, hello, Mike, coming in loud and clear. And David Lowry from Alberta, Canada says they got a big dump of snow last night. That is wonderful. Hopefully you're able to get the sleds out for a little yard riding. So without further ado, let us bring on our guests of honor here and get me off the, let me find a better way to do this. Here we go. And then we're going to turn on everyone's microphones. Ladies, how are you doing tonight?
Excellent.
Fine.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey,
We really appreciate
thanks
it.
for having us.
Sure. So what I'd like to do to begin the podcast is just kind of go around the circle here and give everyone a chance to introduce themselves and maybe talk for a minute or so about your background and how you come to be here tonight. Let's start with Judy. How you doing tonight, Judy?
Oh, that's Jackie.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jackie.
Oh,
JD.
all right. I'm looking right at. Fine. I shouldn't have been first, though. I didn't always finish first. Anyhow, I'm fine. And you want to know a little bit about how I came on board, or is that later?
Yeah, just a quick backstory of how you got into racing, and just a kind of a 1 minute elevator speech of your history in racing, and we'll give everyone a
Okay.
turn, and then we'll go in for a deeper dive.
Okay. I started out by racing a rup, ended up breaking my leg, and then it became a vengeance. I was going to race until I got satisfied. Moved over to cats and raced cats from, rup 70, 71, and then cats from 71 to about 74, 5 in
Yeah.
there.
Wonderful.
Raced
Wonderful.
for Bill's Raiders out of Western Maryland.
Yeah. And where are you located now?
Michigan.
Michigan. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All righty. Well, let's bring Judy on this time.
Hi.
Judy.
Good evening. So my father started a Rupp dealership, Go Rupp, right out of his shop back here. And we pulled a snowmobile off the floor and went down to Holmesdale, Pennsylvania. And that was back in the 72. And that's where we started. And I raced a Rupp, and then I got a sponsor, Lou Tokus, and went on to race Mercury's and Arctic Cats, and pretty much stayed on the Mercury pretty much most of my season. Raced from 73 to 80, and my father was a big fan, and him and I had a great career. Why I raced, so it was a ball. But he was the one to watch because he used to run around the track. There he is.
This is you and your father, correct?
That's my father. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's the Snow Jet. That was 73 Malone, World Series in Malone. But
that's one I didn't make.
yeah, my dad.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Very cool. And then hello, Diane. How are you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me on.
Sure. Thanks for coming on. But yeah, if you wanted to go for a quick minute here, and
I have a short version, but it's tough to do. I raced 28 years total, and it was from 1972 and actually 72, 73 season to the year 2000. It was a long journey, and it was a family affair. We did it all together, and my husband and my son. My son joined us in 83, and it was mostly the ice ovals, but I also tried some snowcross and grass drags. I think the thing I'm most proud about is that I had 19 point championships, and 3 of them were in the men's classes. So no more powder puff.
yes. Very cool.
Excellent.
Very cool. So does anyone want to start with maybe a story or a memory that they can think of to get the ball rolling with the conversation?
I think
I will.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Jackie.
I
You
will.
go.
Well, Diane mentioned powder puff, and that was my big nemesis. I was not going to be called a powder puffer. I didn't like the term at all. We had to pay as much for our sleds as the guys did, and we weren't rewarded very well in the beginning for it. So I wasn't real happy about powder puffers, but I took a lot of razzing from my team. You wanted something funny, that I would work on my sled during the week in the garage, and I'd be singing "You Are Woman, Hear Me Roar," just to get the guys upset. And then we go to a race, and they have hung a giant picture of a gal much heavier endowed than I was in a wet t-shirt. So that really spoiled that weekend. But
Yeah.
anyhow, we just had fun at it. We practical joked.
Sure. Sure. Cool deal. Anyone else with a story they can think of?
My little story for when I raced at Weedsport and I won the race, and I got so excited because they make you take another lap around the track, and I went through the infield and I was so excited I ran into the ambulance.
Huh.
And so that was that, and I ended up following the wrong technician over to the teardown area and got thrown out anyways. So
You mean disqualified?
disqualified. Yep, disqualified.
Oh!
After I guess if you're gonna run into anything, you might as well run into an ambulance, right?
True. Yeah, you're right there, right?
Yeah.
I raced an ambulance. I did.
Yeah.
I from 76 to 03, I was a paramedic in an ambulance. A lot of people ran into ambulances.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
I don't think like that though.
Right.
Sure.
It wasn't funny, but it was now,
Funny looking back on it. Absolutely.
Oh my God. It was, yeah, I was just so excited, but anyways.
Nice.
I never did that. Was that just one of the regular races or the World Series?
That was just one of the regular ones. I think it was like I was with Kathy Nedrow, all the Top Guns, and it was my first big win against the big guns. And my father was ecstatic and I was ecstatic, and it was on the rup, and I was just like, boom, right into the ambulance. So, yeah.
I started on a rup. I broke my leg on a rup.
Yep.
But it wasn't the rup's fault.
No.
I think we have an image of you nursing
Oh,
that
yeah.
broken leg, Jackie.
Is that during a race? During a race, Jackie?
Oh, yeah. My second place sled hit me.
Oh, wow.
And you said you didn't want to make the victory lap? That's exactly, I didn't either. So I turned,
Yep.
right into the infield, and she was on my blind side. I didn't know it. She hit me broadside, and 8.5 months later, I came out with a vengeance. Okay, I'm going to race. I'm going to beat this thing.
Yeah.
That was a bad break.
Yeah.
It was a bad break. It was compound, and my foot was laying up in the crotch of my leg. Yeah, it was good. It was a good one. She felt she was my best friend. She felt so bad. Oh, but she felt horrible.
Sure.
You'll probably see it in the pictures. You'll see her. She's in an orange suit.
Yeah.
There she is. Yeah.
Who is that?
That's Sandra Savage, my very best friend. And I had a horse, and I can remember in the ER saying, well, what am I going to do with my horse? And she says, I'll keep him for you. So she picked up the slack and did it remarkably well. She's a doll baby.
Nice. Now we do have some comments coming in. Let's see. We've got Andrew Strakos from Granville, New York saying hello. Roger Cormier says everything looks and sounds good. He's a regular viewer from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Kevin Colhane says loud and clear from Kieran's, Ontario. Now we've got some questions for the ladies. Rob Hilditch, who was on here just about every week, he's asking if the ladies still ride. Excellent question.
We all stare at each other.
I have a little 500 Ski-Doo and a 500 Polaris Indy. So yes, I do.
Wow.
Occasionally ride. Yes, with my grandson. With my grandson.
Wonderful.
All right.
He's 16 and he's 6'4".
So considering that your father got you into snowmobiling, is that 4 generations now of snowmobilers?
I do believe. Yes, it is 4 generations. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is cool. And then Rob Hilditch says, "You go, girl." And someone else is saying hello to Judy.
Oh.
John Spranger Jr. says, "Good evening, everyone." And someone on Facebook is still asking if Judy still has any Mercuries.
I don't. They were Lutocuses, so I never had one of my own.
Gotcha.
May I have a question about a Mercury? Did you race a Mercury at Eagle River?
I didn't.
You did not. Okay. So I was told by my crew that there was don't try to get first place. The Mercury's too fast, and we'll win in the men's class. And I thought, wouldn't it be remarkable if that was you on the Mercury?
Yeah, the Mercuries were 80. I think 80% of them out there were Mercuries at one time. It's just loaded.
Yes.
The field was loaded with them.
Oh, but I saw a lot of Skidoos too.
Yeah.
How about it, Diane?
Okay, thank you, girl.
Yeah. For letting you in. Yes.
I can finally see you guys now a little bit.
Cool.
I'm putting the camera up. Anyway, I am still riding trails faithfully. And I have a 2009 E-Tech 600. And we actually have a little camp in the lower Adirondacks that we put all the trails in Ohio and places north of there. And actually, it's kind of hard to decide if I want to go trail riding or if I want to go to the races because we're still racing the next generation. So the Northern New York Vintage group, and I think my son's kind of got into that group in 2014, and we're still at it. And I am the support team now, enjoying it very much. And Jerry's still
Wrenching?
and we're having a great time still. We're thankful for her help and that we're able to do it.
Wonderful. Very cool. Now, Judy, do you still ride?
I do. Just like the two little machines that I have, the 500s. My grandson and I do. Just what the problem is, there's not really a lot of snow, so you have like a 4-day window. So when it snows, you better get your butt out there because in 4 days it's gone. We only had 70 inches of snow in Syracuse here last year. So unless you want to take them and put them on a trailer and go up north, the snow doesn't last here very long.
Sure.
You gotta time it right.
Yeah.
And then did we ask Jackie if she still rides?
Oh my. No. A lot of water has gone under the bridge since I rode. Now, I spent 33, 35 years in Texas.
Wow.
So I was a long way from snow. But I sure enjoyed occasionally seeing the sports and the motocross and all. I thought, oh my goodness, not me, not there. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe what they were doing now.
Yeah.
And flipping them.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
Now, I've got a conversation starter here. Let me find the right image here. And this sled right here with the twin skis, this is something Diane Baker had. Do you want to get another shot of it too? Do you want to fill us in a little bit, Diane, on what we're looking at there with that twin ski?
Yeah, that was the first sled that I ever won with. It was in a drag race, and I had done the ovals earlier in the day and didn't make out so well. It was my first time out. It was a bumpy old snow track, and but anyway, back to the two skis. It belonged to my brother-in-law, Jerry's brother. The two of them are pretty ingenious, and they come up with solutions. At least they thought the two skis was a solution. We're not really sure about that, but
Sure.
Jerry's brother, who's now 93 and still doing crazy things, and he's the one that came up with the two skis, or four skis, I'm sorry.
Yeah. How did that handle? Did that give any kind of an advantage or an extra bite in the corners at all? Or
Well, that was just for a straight line. That was for a drag race.
okay,
So,
yes,
More weight in the front?
I'm sure maybe that was an advantage, but I don't think that really mattered back then. It wasn't on ice. It was on snow, and it worked. Not it for me anyway. I'm not sure how my brother-in-law That's what that was about. It was a real eye catcher.
Yeah, for sure. Conversation starter. Cool deal.
Diane, did you ever drag race on the grass with that sled?
No,
No?
no,
Did you ever grass drag at all?
yes.
Okay.
It was later. It was about 94, I think. We bought a little skidoo that we were going to eventually take out on the oval. So we went to some of the grass drag races to kind of get it set up and get used to it. We were pretty successful with it. It was the sled was an MS 440 fan, 94.
You still have it?
It's a 94. If I misspoke myself, but we had a lot of fun with it. I'm sorry, Judy.
Do you still have it? The 94?
No.
No.
We most of the sleds we have for trail ride. Oh, the two sleds we have that are race sleds. Maybe you remember we had an RV 245
Yep.
moto ski. 3. We still have those.
Yeah, those are beautiful. Yeah.
25s, yeah.
Yep, the 245.
Vintage.
Yeah. I know. There's a couple of sleds I wish I kept, but
Mhm. Me
hindsight.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All of them,
No.
but it didn't work that way.
If I had to have a shop that was an acre shop, I'd be all set. I'd have them all.
Mm.
Sure. Now, Judy, this shot here, I think this was in Malone. Do you have any stories or memories about what was going on here?
Oh, that track was horrible. It was all mud.
Mm.
Yeah. That was bumpy and
Mm.
horrible. My teeth were all mud, but it was
Wow.
great. That was the one Dad was following me around the track with his hands telling me where I was. You know, I'd watch him in the corner and he was like giving me the signals. But my teeth were. I see the helmet that I had on with no shield or anything. Well, I think I had the shield on, but I didn't even have a full face. I didn't even have a full face helmet on. I had like a little bike helmet that I should have been on a bicycle instead, I think.
Wow. So you got a face full on that.
I did.
Wow.
I can see though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very intense moment right there. I can tell
Oh, yes.
people in that picture if you're interested.
Yeah, that was the day I think that my father went to church, and they bumped the final up like an hour, and I walked across the infield, and the guy that owned that sled was going crazy. He said, "What the heck you doing?" And my father was just coming across the track from church, and I almost missed that race because I was, laxy daisy. I thought it was a different time. You know how everybody else usually gets there a day before? Well, I get there like, when I get there, but I didn't mean to be laxadaisy. I was waiting for my father, and the guy that owned that sled was going crazy. Your sled's in the lineup. That was a borrowed sled.
Wow.
All right.
So the pressure was on.
Yeah, that was a
Wow.
great day.
Sure. Now, Jackie, go ahead. I'm sorry. Did you have more on that, or?
I wondered if Judy knew that she had a couple people on either side of her there. Back to the one where Judy is ready to race. We go back to that one. On
Yeah.
your left, Judy, is Betty Clark,
Betty Clark, yep.
and Dorothy Mercer's older sister is on your right. I
Oh,
looked that up.
A gold bib.
Ella Mae Porter.
Wow.
So when I start looking at old pictures, I get interested and try to find out who they are and stuff.
Yeah. Do we know if any of these people are still around today, or?
I'm not. Our camp is close to where Betty Clark was from, but I haven't been able to locate her.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a
Sure.
lot of them that I know. Dorothy Mercer had passed, but I did that. There was a sister.
Yeah,
Oh.
their names were not the same.
Oh, one was married. I take it.
Possibly, yeah. I know it said that she was an older sister.
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
I think they
Sure.
lost Dorothy at like 65 of something, but she was a hell of a racer, boy.
Oh yeah, she was
Oh.
something that she did the Sioux 500, I think, and that there was no difference of there was no sexist there. You raced with guys or you didn't race, and she did. She did
Good.
Yeah.
That's
good.
impressive.
Yeah,
God rest her soul. She was strong.
sure it was.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. There's a picture of her and Jackie DeWitt after one of the races. I think Jackie may have beat her
Yep.
in 72, maybe, or here. Jackie won in 72 at Ironwood. Possibly, I think that might have been the picture that I was looking at.
Nice.
This
Yeah,
Jackie crashed at Ironwood.
Oh, yes. We have an image of that, I think.
I think
Uh,
you do.
Is this it here?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us the
Yep.
story on that? Or
Ice. These girls seemed to love ice, and I didn't. I wanted Mowgli's. I wanted lots of snow. We didn't know ice. That was the first time I'd ever been on ice. And of course, I want to get in front right away, and it didn't work so well. I got upside down.
Wow.
You had to be
Were you
set.
injured at all in that? Or?
That one, no.
Okay.
The Ironwood, I didn't. The one in northern Pennsylvania, I did. And I'm working with the old injury from that. I got hit in the middle of the back, caused some lung damage.
Oh,
But
yeah.
stubborn as I was, I wouldn't go to the hospital or anything.
Wow. And were you going to say something, Judy? Did you have a question or a comment on that?
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I guess it wasn't important. Sorry.
Well, that's all right. That's all right.
See that?
Go ahead.
Flashes.
Sure.
Did anyone know who was right in front of me there?
Oh
I
yeah,
would
ice.
love to
I'm
know.
talking about the ice, the way you had to
Oh.
set the sleds up when people started working on our rups. We had a problem too because we hit our first track with ice, and I did like 5 spin outs, and I'm like, and then somebody else, Mark Winhausen, helped me set the sled up after that. So, but I understand how you spun out with there's a setup for ice and there's a setup for snow, and I didn't know any of that, but you learned.
Sure.
You want my story with ice?
Yes.
Sure.
Was at Eagle River, Wisconsin. And that's when they told me that there's a Merc. Don't try to beat the Merc. Just be content to come in third. Well, you don't race to come in third. So they had it set up for ice. I think we had mega new carbide runners and skags, and 3 packs or 4 packs of studs, and I was ready to go out. Man, I went out and I was in front going into route. What do you call it? The second turn, and I hit that ice and spun out upside down. Well, we had the kill switches.
Yep.
And because it was like 20 below zero, sometimes things didn't work. And I came off the sled, but the sled stayed running, which meant, a problem. I plugged it back in, not even thinking, got back on the sled to get back on the track. And the next trip around, that awesome big black flag came out and put me on the infield. Yeah.
Oh,
They thought that I had set my sled up not to turn off.
What's
But
that?
it was the
What's
ice.
that black flag mean?
The black flag?
I never
The
got
black.
one of those.
Oh yeah, Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
That was a long trip, long, quiet trip home.
I
Oh,
bet.
bet.
My team was not happy with me.
I'm
No.
sorry.
Wow.
Don't like ice? No ice.
Sure.
No,
Now we do have some more comments coming in. We've got Steve Woodard from Rochester, New York saying hello. We've got our good friend David from Alaska Railroad saying good evening to us all. David also says great job in your past racing careers. And then we've got Glenn Ford saying he remembers watching Judy and Diane race when his dad took him to the races in New York State. And he says those were the days.
Oh, nice.
And then we've got a couple more here. I'm losing my place. Here we go. Now, here's a conversation starter. Our good friend and regular on this show, Rob Hilditch, is asking what track was your favorite one to race at?
Ooh.
Anybody have any favorites?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Diane.
Malone.
Yeah. Malone.
Any track on a fairgrounds was
Yep.
fun.
Yes.
Syracuse.
Boonville. Syracuse was kind of long.
Yeah, but I liked it. But
Yeah.
Boonville would have been my favorite.
Judy.
Yeah. Yes.
Remember when Jerry drove your snow jet at Syracuse?
I sure do. That was kind of long, huh?
That's when it's running.
Yeah, your dad told him, don't worry about if the exhaust gets red, just keep going.
Just keep going. Just go ahead and we'll fix it later.
I should have sent that picture. I have that picture of him and he's all mud.
Oh my God.
Wow. And then we've got another comment here. Reese Fleury, it's kind of a similar question, but he's wanting to know what areas did you race? Were there typical tracks that you would race at every year, or was there some more than others? Or
we used to go to Wheatsport once a week. Was it Wednesdays or Thursday nights, I think?
Nights. Yeah.
Thursdays, Diane?
Thursday nights.
Thursday nights at Wheatsport, yeah. That was a nice one because it was every week.
Yeah.
And but I think the World Series is the ones that I remember. You know, St. Paul, Minnesota, and West Yellowstone, Montana was absolutely beautiful trail ride, and that's the only place we went out. And then we went out trail riding afterwards, which was gorgeous. Yeah.
Nice.
any other? Go ahead.
Once in a while, if conditions weren't good in the east, we would go to New England. I actually got to go to Canada and race for a couple years, CCMQ, and Wisconsin,
Nice.
New York.
Yeah. And Jackie?
Well, being from Western Maryland, we were kind of the southern end of the crew. It was like 20 minutes of racing with the snow the way it was, and you always had a week in January that everything melted, so we didn't like that. But mostly Syracuse, Boonville, Redfield, Burton, Ohio. A little bit in West Virginia, a lot in Pennsylvania. So, but you guys raced more up in New England than I did.
Sure. And then we've got David from Alaska Railroad asking if you still ride, and of course we've covered that, but the answer was yes to most of that. And then let's see, we've got some other comments coming in. Josh Leverker is saying hello to Judy. And he's also saying, Judy, you'll have to come up to the Turin Sled Show this coming year in September.
Oh, tell Josh, I'll give him the thumbs up.
Good. I've heard that's an amazing show. We had him on a couple of weeks ago sharing images and video clips from that show, and it looked like a wonderful show.
Yes, I think he's got a couple roughs, I think Josh does, that he redid.
Yes, and some cats, too.
Beautiful jobs that boy does. He did a beautiful job.
For sure.
Yes.
Old Forge. They were nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then we've got Rob Hilditch asking, did any of you ever race against the Decker mother?
Yes.
Audrey?
Yes.
Yes, Diane, right? Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any stories to go with any of that, or?
I battled the whole race at the final at Malone and managed to get a fourth place and just beat her out at the end. I remember I thought I got to get by her. And she was tough. She was tough. That whole
Wow.
track, whole deal was pretty rough. But yes, it was an honor. Pat Adema, I raced against.
I have too.
Diane Miller was at Syracuse. Yeah.
Nice.
There was one more person that came out to the east. Oh, I didn't race against her, but I remember that Dorothy Mercer again raced at Boonville and won one of the women's classes early on. But yes, raced against Audrey. She
I
was
think she raced Mod 1, if I'm not mistaken, at Boonville.
Dorothy.
Mm-hmm. That
Yeah.
sound right?
That's the class she won, I think.
Okay. And I won the D stock, the C stock,
Yeah.
or whatever they called it then. 340s.
Do
Sure.
you realize you and Jackie, you and Judy raced against each other?
I don't know. I was so intense in, I don't know what, space cadet, whatever, maybe. But I wasn't, I guess I wouldn't have been very social to my competitors, which is a very bad mistake because there are a bunch of nice people out there. But yeah, I was really intense.
It was in Justice, Pennsylvania. I think it was in 74, maybe. I don't know. I'm not seeing it right now, but
Yeah, someone just confirmed 74 on the screen in the comments.
Mm.
But go ahead.
oh no, that was it. I just wondered if Judy and her knew that they had raced against each other.
Oh,
Wow.
like I said, I'm pretty much in a zone.
Yeah.
It was way back then. I remember Diane the most, and Cheryl Barnett and Deb Keiss, because Deb Keiss and her father and my father were like, that man knew how to set up a Merc, because I knew that I had a problem with mine, and he let me run his at Weedsport. Phenomenal setup. And so, Barb Yearly, Marsha Baduflo, just some of the good names that, I always
Really?
that's the ones I remember. But I'm sorry that I don't remember Jackie, but I met her. Like I said, I'm glad that she's here tonight.
Sure.
I don't remember accepting any awards. I have a mental blank or something. I mean, I have a lot of them. I mean, they were sitting around. I don't have one of them. I don't have my pretty pink and purple suit that I once had. I've lost all of that in the 5 moves that I've made, and I hate that. But I had some gorgeous trophies, but I don't remember anybody around me to have talked to.
There was a lot of women racers, a lot back then.
Yeah.
And I definitely wasn't a fashion queen, so you'd see me with my red sweater. So
Oh, we had the awfulest looking suits.
Oh,
The awfulest green and pink together you ever saw. My favorite sled was the Puma, and that was, I think, 70, 71. And it was one where you became one with it because of the way it was set up. The handlebars were low, and you could really lean in. They weren't in the way. They were down under you. I loved that sled. Oh, I loved it.
Nice.
That was the one I won at Boonville.
Nice.
I hated to give it up.
Now we've got some more comments coming in. We've got Brent Corbin with some comments. He says there's a big swap meet tomorrow and Saturday in Birch Run, Michigan. And he's also got a question, another conversation starter. He's also wondering if any one of you has ever raced against either Diane Miller from Michigan or Elaine Zubak. Does that bring back any memories?
Diane Miller was at Syracuse.
Yeah.
74. She won the women's mod class.
So,
Nice. And then, go ahead. Any more thoughts on that, or from anyone?
I have a question,
Sure.
a request of your viewers. So many of my race results were lost, and I've managed, thanks to some kind people, to get a little of it back, but I've lost a lot of it. So if anybody remembers any place that I may have raced that they have records, please get in touch with me. Let me know. I'm trying to put the records back together again.
Sure. In fact, I'm popping my email address on the screen. If anyone has details about her race records, just send me an email and I'll pass it right along to her.
Thank you very much.
Sure. In fact, I'll keep that up for another moment here. Yeah, that'd be great to be able to complete that story of all of your history there. And then we've got some other comments here. Let me get to where I need to be. We've got someone on Facebook from Justice, Pennsylvania, weighing in. Also, Brent Corbin says the A1 swap and show the Millers have been putting on for 21 years. I think that's that show he was talking about in Birch Run, Michigan. And then, oh yes, Rob Hilditch has got another question. He's got a lot of great questions tonight. He's wondering if any of you have ever showed up at the Valcourt, Quebec event.
Yes, the Bakers have.
No, not the Rinaldis.
Valcourt.
No.
My son raced there just a few years ago. He raced in the 80s, and then he was back in 2014 and 15, I think. So it's not too long ago that we were there.
Yeah, nice.
And my husband, Jerry, traveled with Wayne Nicholson as his mechanic, and they frequently went to Valcourt. It's quite a show there.
Yes. Wonderful. And then we've got another comment, someone on Facebook. Unfortunately, it's not showing their name for some reason, but they're saying that they have the year-end tallies for 71, 72, 73, and 74, which is encouraging news. I believe that speaks to what Jackie was talking about. I'm going to pop that email address on the screen again. So whoever it is that has that information, if you could share that with us at this email address here, I'll forward that on to Jackie, and hopefully we can complete her records of her race history. I'll leave that on the screen for a moment. And oh, it's Bruce Borovarch. Wonderful. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Hey, go, Bruce.
Cool.
Yes,
Hi,
thank you for that, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
And for those who aren't familiar with Bruce, he's a board member of the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame, and he's very involved in working with the inductees to be, as far as coordinating with them and getting records and just working through all of that. He does a great job for them. He works very, very hard on that.
Yes, he does. I didn't want to say anything and say something wrong, but Bruce is a great guy.
Yes.
So are you, Mike.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And then someone else on Facebook is saying hello. But cool. And anyone else with a story or a memory or anything to add to the conversation?
I just would like to say thanks to my sponsor, Lou Tokus, that I kind of leave him on the back burner sometimes. And talking about fashionable, he did put me in a lot of nice clothes. So shout out to Lou Tokus if he's watching this.
Nice.
I hope. Hi, Lou.
Hi, Lou. I'm sure he's going to catch up with it.
Sure. And let's see, we've got some photos here. Now here's one that Jackie sent me. This is a stripped down snowmobile, stripped down so much that there was no seat on it. Is there a story to go with that, Jackie?
Yeah, my bumper spent about a week healing. But no, I don't know why they took it off. I don't think seats weigh that much, but they did. I was sitting there on metal.
Wow.
But it was a running sled. It did quite well.
So you feel that, in your opinion, looking back on it, was it worth taking the seat off? Or
oh yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah, no problem. But look at those handlebars, will you? They certainly aren't the same handlebars that the Puma had. And I'm sitting back, and I like to lean forward with my leg back. And there was something at Boonville. At Boonville, it was a double win, maybe. The girls in the back, on the back straightaway, wrecked. I don't know who, and I don't know why or how. But anyhow, they stopped the race. And normally when they restart a race, they start staggered according to your position. But they didn't know what the position was back there. I don't know what it was, why, but they didn't. So when they lined us up, they lined us straight across with me in the number 1 position. But my sled didn't have it coming out of the hole. And what do you call that, low end? I had high end, not low end. But anyhow, I knew when they did that, I'd have to fight. And boy, I did. I can remember squeezing between some sleds, and my ankle of the bad leg got pinned between the 2 sleds. That isn't stopping me. No way. So I drugged my foot for about another lap until I could get it back on the sled. Wow. But yeah, they weren't going to cause me to lose that race.
Yeah, you're in it to win it. Now,
in it to win it. I love it.
Is this you coming across the finish line at that race?
Yeah. And that's the Puma. I loved her.
Puma, and that's your foot hanging off.
Yeah, that's my foot.
Now, was your foot injured, or was it just bumped? Or
no, it was just bumped. No,
sure.
No, I had it well padded.
That was the win at Boonville, right?
Yes, yeah. Sandra, the girl that in the orange suit, she's the one that took such good pictures. That's a good picture, I think. Yeah. She did. Her husband's on the other side. At the time, I did not drink at all. And you can imagine there's a nice case of some kind of beer there as part of the presents. Anyhow, so
that's what he's carrying there, yes.
Team got to enjoy that.
Yeah, some victory beer.
Yes.
Now, does victory beer taste better than normal beer?
Haven't the slightest idea. Anybody else?
I'm thinking it must, but
I don't know. I think I'd like a bottle of wine now, though, for a present.
Sure.
No. You want a funny story?
Yes, go ahead.
Do we have time for a funny story?
We do. We've got a little over 10 minutes left.
Dale Sisler was our captain of the team. He raced Boss Cat, or the big sled. Anyhow, he got hit I think when we were out riding at night, he got hit, or maybe it was in a race, but anyhow, they put him in traction, and his head was, in traction. So Smarty me, we think, he's one that liked the brewskis. So I hid a beer in my pocketbook and hid it in with a straw, and I got him the straw. The other team was with me. I got him the straw and got him to drink in his beer. But guess what? You can't belch on your back. So he was plumb stuck on his back and he couldn't belch. And they almost sent him to Morgantown to the trauma center that night because he couldn't belch.
Wondering what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I did him in twice.
That's cool. Now we've got some more comments coming in. We've got somebody on Facebook saying hello. We've got somebody on Facebook saying you all look very good, which is wonderful. Got somebody talking about a 72 EXT with the pizza cutters. And then other people talking about Mod 1. And let me see if I have image of that 72 pizza. Oops. 70.
What's that? 72.
Yeah, as I look at this interface, here's a 72. Is this I don't know if it's a 72.
That's an EXT. Yeah.
Is that more of a 73 though, or?
Oh.
And I don't see pizza cutters on it, but maybe, I don't know.
I think that Well, the Boonville year was what? 72?
Yeah.
Okay, then 73 was the EXT.
No, Boonville was 71. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, well, the EXT, we talked about drag racing. That was drag racing in the EXT.
Sure. And then also I wanted to, I have good images of all of you from back in the day. Let's pop some of these on the screen. This is Diane, but from back in the day.
Woo! Nice trophy. Diane, what have you done with your trophies?
I have most of them left. Not all of them because of a flood that we had. That particular lost, and I felt about it. But life goes on. We're here, and we survived the flood. That's all that matters.
Wow.
Yes. Are there any stories that go with this image that you can think of, Diane?
That was Malone. That was the 4th place where I beat Audrey Decker. And
wow.
Yeah, that was a really rough race. There were a lot of women. It was the C stock, and there were like 22 entries, something like that. It seemed like we raced forever. There was no snow in the infield, and my husband and his brothers carried the sled each time, back and forth for there was a semi, there was heat semi, and then the final. And that was my introduction to a World Series. It was really something. I never really won one that wasn't, that was like that. And but coming in 4th was just a real exciting day.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
see. Now we've got one from Judy from back in the day. This is one we've looked at already, but it's worth looking at again because I know Judy was very close with her father, and this is her and her father in this image. Any stories you can think of to go with this, Judy?
Yeah.
Or about your father?
That's my favorite picture. Diane kind of, I had a news article, and she put tough as nails, and it kind of hit the newspaper, and it was kind of a big deal around here. So I appreciate that what Diane did, because it started a little frenzy around here, which was cute. But Diane knows my dad, and yeah, that red hat of his, that red hat he wore all the time.
Nice. Let me put that back so we can see the red hat.
Yeah.
And if I understand correctly, Judy, was your father a rup dealer? Is that how you got into racing?
Yes.
Through him?
Yep. He had a little rup dealership down here, and that's how I got into racing. He took one of the sleds off the showroom floor, and off we went. So
nice. And he was very supportive and encouraging for you.
Yes, he was great.
Wonderful. And then let's see. We've also got one of Jackie. Let's see. Here we go. Is there a story to go with this, Jackie?
Long Pond. That was on Long Pond. And y'all know where Long Pond is, right? Where did the cars race over there? It's not called Long Pond for the cars.
Poconos.
Yeah, Poconos. And we raced on ice there. I saw a motorcycle, and the studs they had in the tires of that motorcycle, they blew you away. Holy smokes. But we raced out on a solid ice in the morning, and when we went to come back, they had to lay boards down, and we had to run across the boards to get off the ice. It had melted around the edge.
Wow.
That was cool. I like that. Oh, beautiful place. Gorgeous.
Nice. Now let's see. Oh, we've got more comments coming in, but a lot of it, I don't know how they got here. It's like all this stuff that shouldn't be on Facebook. I don't know how they found us, but they did. But I'm only going to show the images that are suitable for what we're doing here. I don't know how they found us. But anyway, David from Alaska Railroad says he did some drags on his TXL in the 90s. Stock class, he did excellent. He said those 340s can haul the onions. Cool deal. Well, cool. So we've got another 5 minutes here. Any final stories as we start winding this down? Anyone have anything that they'd like to share?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to anybody that knows any of the gals. Oh yeah, I know so and so that raced back then, and I think we are trying to. There's so many of them. They've got to be out there somewhere. We're looking for them, and we have a nice induction ceremony in the East now for men and women in the Hall of Fame, and so many of those girls were just super good racers, and they deserve to be there. If anybody can help us out with that, just let them know that they can contact us or Mike or Bruce, Beau Rivage, Midge Rosebrook, and they deserve to have a chance too. That's
For
my
sure.
speech.
Definitely. And in fact, I've got an email address scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. So if anyone has information about that, just send me an email at that email address. Reference, Diane's comment there, and I'll pass that along to her. And
Yeah.
anyone else with any final comments or?
No, I agree with Diane. I just think that, Barbie Early and Cheryl Barnett
Oh, yeah.
and Jackie DeWitt, of course, and Marcia Duflo, they were excellent racers. I just want to give a shout out to them. Thanks.
And thank you all. Thank you all for how many years has gone by. We should have been closer. We could have been great friends. And thank you, Mike.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you all for coming on, and thank you also for the viewers for coming on and making all these really nice comments and asking questions. We've got someone say, I think this must be Bruce Borvar. Say he's working on finding information, pardon me, about Marcia Duflo. And Mike McAlargy says, what a great show. Nice to hear from the lady racers. He's specifically referencing Michigan, so he must be talking about Jackie. And I apologize, I'm losing my voice here. So, but the timing is good because we're about out of time. So I'm going to wind down the program before I croak here. My voice is is giving out. But yeah. Also David from Alaska Railroad says excellent show. Said the ladies are amazing and God bless. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Oh, and Rob Hilditch says great show tonight. Interesting interview. I totally agree with that. So yeah, with that, we're going to wind down the program. Yeah, thank you all so much for coming on. Thank you also for the viewers. We really appreciate it. And as always, we give the last word to our friends at Amsoil. Let me line up that video here and have a good evening, everyone.
Bye, Diane. Bye, Mike. Bye, Jackie. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Wonderful.
Hello, everyone. This is Rob and Mike. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing good. Mike, yourself?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Amsoil. And in a few moments, we're going to show you how you can get the deepest discounts, free shipping, and free gifts when you order your Amsoil products through us. But first, I'm going to ask Rob to give you a quick description of what Amsoil is and why you should consider using Amsoil products in your motorized vehicles.
Thanks, Mike. Amsoil is 100% synthetic oil. Everybody uses Amsoil for a different reason. Some people like the benefits that Amsoil is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. The reason we can do that is because Amsoil doesn't oxidize. It doesn't form the usual carbons, gums, sludges like petroleum oils do. That's why we can keep it in the engines longer. Petroleum oils never do wear out. They oxidize themselves. That's why they have to be changed at 3,000 kilometers. And Amsoil likes the benefit that you only have to change the oil once a year. That saves them money. Some of the people like the benefit of Amsoil is it's a slipperier type lube. By having a slipperier type lube, it cuts down friction and drag. By less friction and drag, engines run 20 to 50 degrees cooler, better gas mileage. Now, Amsoil says 25% more protection than the industry requires is in the Amsoil bottles. My average customer gets about 10% increase in gas mileage. That's a big savings.
Yeah.
And by cutting down friction and drag, for every 10 degrees you cut down the friction and drag, doubles the life of the engine. So by having the engine run cooler, it makes it last longer. Some people like the benefit of the range of the Amsoil. Amsoil's flash point is 425 degrees, and it pours at 50 below zero.
Wow.
If you ever try petroleum oil when it's 10 below, it turns to honey. And in the summertime, petroleum oil thins out. And once it thins out, that's when it starts breaking down. So Amsol's an all-season oil, can give you better gas mileage, longer engine life, less maintenance. It ends up being cheaper over a year's time running Amsol than it is petroleum oils.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Amsol is available for pretty much any motorized vehicle, anything from lawn equipment, cars, trucks, boats, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Yep. And a lot of people phone me up and say, well, what's the benefit of our gear loop? Exactly what I told you about the engine oil. It pours in cold weather, it runs cooler, makes the equipment last longer. And they say, well, what's the benefit of the small engine? Same thing. Makes the engine run cooler, last longer, better performance. So it saves on all the applications that Amsol has available.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, let's talk now. Hopefully this has convinced people to think about maybe joining us in the Amsol experience. Let's talk about some of the discounts and free shipping and how that all happens. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen. And yeah, by all means, if you want to talk people through how this preferred customer program works.
Amsol has a number of different programs. One of our main ones is a catalog customer, where somebody can order directly out of our catalog. If they order out of the catalog, they order $100 worth, Amsol will ship it right to their house. But our best program is our preferred customer. For only $10 for 6 months, you become a preferred customer, you save 25% on all the product. You order $100 worth, they're going to give you free shipping. You don't have to order a whole case. You can mix and match. Say you want 4 bottles of small engine, 7 bottles of 5W30, and a couple of gear loops. You can mix and match. You can order 1 bottle at a time if you want. There's no minimums, no maximums. By being a preferred customer, you save over 25% on all the products you're going to buy. Amsol sends you extra gifts, a $5 gift certificate on your birthday, $5 when you renew your account, and stuff like that. So it's a good way to save on some of the products you want to buy.
For sure. Yeah, it's an incredible value. And this is the deepest level of discount that anyone can get when ordering Amsol. Is that correct?
It is.
Wonderful. So let's take people through the step-by-step experience of placing an Amsol order. Then that would include signing up for the preferred customer preferred customer program, so they can receive those deepest levels of discount. So let's go to the website. This is what the website's going to look like. These are some screenshots. Once you go to amsoil.com, there's a link in the description, or you can just type that into a browser, amsoil.com. This is the page you land on. At the upper corner of the page there, you see how I've circled in red. That is the link to click, the Join Now link. That will take you to the Preferred Customer Program page, where you can take advantage of all of these discounts and free shipping and everything that we've just been talking about. This is what that page looks like. In the lower right, you're going to click Join Now. This will pop up. You select the duration you'd like, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and click Add to Cart. Now, once this pop-up goes away, you'll be back on the main page. And the upper left, you'll see where I've got that red arrow. It says Shop. Now you can start shopping for products, and on your very first order, you're going to get these discounts and the free shipping as long as it's over $100. You'll get all of these benefits right away. So once you click Shop, it's going to take you to the product page. There's different types of oils, lubricants, so on and so forth. For the benefit of this exercise we're doing now, I'm just going to click motor oil. It shows different types of motor oil. Let's click gasoline. Now this takes us to an item. It's their synthetic motor oil. And you can see the item there, and there's choices for different viscosities. But take a look at the price. Let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in. But if you've joined the preferred customer program first, you're going to automatically get the deepest levels of discount. That's what we're looking at here. You're saving $3.80 on that quart of oil. Instead of paying $16.29, you're now paying $12.49 for that quart of oil. That is the deepest level of discount you can possibly get. And then you just add the quantity that you'd like. You select any other items that you're thinking about, add them to the cart. And once you click Add to Cart for the final time, you're going to see this come up at the top of the screen. It's going to show your items and your the total that you're at so far. Pardon me. And then you just click View Cart in the upper right, and that'll take you to your cart. Take a close look here at the upper right. That blue box shows that you're getting free shipping. You're eligible for free shipping on this order because it's over $100. That little yellow box shows that you've got the preferred customer membership on your order that gives you the deepest levels of discounts for the next 6 to 12 months. And then below that, you've got the items that have been selected. For the exercise here, I selected 9 quarts of the signature series, but that brings us up over $100 for the free shipping. We're saving $34.20. And if you're ready to finish, you click Checkout Now, and that takes you to this screen here. If you haven't signed up with an Amsol account at this point, just click in the lower right to create an account, create a new account. It's going to ask you for some basic information, name and those types of things. Now let's take a closer look. You'll see this gray shaded box. This is a very important box. This is going to ask you if someone has referred you to Amsol. And if so, please enter my name. My name is Mike LaPierre. It's spelled right there on the screen for the correct spelling. And also the referral number, 304-555-94. That's how you make sure that Rob and I get credit for this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have signed up for Amsol under Rob. So when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. So if you enjoy these podcasts that we're doing, this is a wonderful way to support the podcast, because when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit, and the commissions I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So I thank you in advance for that, for using my referral number. I very much appreciate it. And once you've done that, you just go into the next screen to enter your payment information, and you're done. Now, once you've placed your order that's over $100, and that order includes your AMSOIL Preferred Customer Program, you are now eligible to get a free DVD from myself. Now, this is going to be either a muscle car DVD or a vintage snowmobile DVD. Use the email address on the screen, wkspodcasts@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know which DVD you would like me to send you, the muscle car or the vintage snowmobile DVD, and I'll get that right out to you. As you're typing in that email, in the subject line, be sure and type in capital letters "free DVD requests," so it stands out as I'm checking my email, and we'll get that right out to you. So I guess the last thing, Rob, that we wanted to talk about is if someone is considering AMSOIL as a business opportunity.
Yes. If anybody has a retail or a commercial account and they would like to buy directly from AMSOIL, just send Mike a line. He'll show you how to set up, and you can buy directly from AMSOIL. But if you are interested in starting your own part-time business, a part-time business that can grow into a full-time income, Mike and I will show you the AMSOIL marketing plan. AMSOIL has a large selection of products that cover almost every application. So it doesn't matter if you're into snowmobile, boating, or ATVing or hot rods, we have an oil for every application. It's a fun type business that's I really enjoy doing. Where else can I go and have fun and make money doing it? And Mike and I are here to help you all the way along. If you need any help on how to promote or to find new accounts, we're here to help you.
For sure. So when you sign up under that number, this 304-555-94, you're getting Rob and I as a team. Now, Rob has been doing AMSOIL for 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So he knows every aspect of this business, and he knows all of the ins and outs of the products. So he'll be able to help you with any kind of product questions or any kind of questions to show you the different business models that you can do with AMSOIL. And then the other thing that you get when you sign up under me is I've got a strong background in social media. So if you need some coaching on how to generate AMSOIL leads using Facebook and YouTube, I'm happy to coach you with that when you sign up under Rob and I. You get both of us as a team to help you, to coach you, to support you, whatever you need to get you off and running with this business and having fun with it. Like Rob said, it's an enormous amount of fun. If you're like Rob and I and you enjoy going to any kind of boat shows, car shows, motorcycle shows, snowmobile shows, anything with a motor, you like going to those shows, those events, those races, this is a great way to turn that into a income opportunity for you.
Yes. And just by wearing my AMSOIL hat at one of these events, people come up and ask me about AMSOIL.
Wonderful.
People don't know where to buy it, and I'm there to help them, show them where they can buy the products.
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, this is great. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
AMSOIL's a fun business. AMSOIL's been around since 1968. It was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's very early in the game too, isn't it?
Yes.
For sure. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for viewing. Hopefully, we've gotten you excited as we are about the AMSOIL products. We'd love it if you could join us either as someone who uses the AMSOIL products or to join the AMSOIL team as a business opportunity. And we thank you so much for viewing. Have a great day.
You have a good day.